Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on bettor. It's another very beautiful Tuesday morning, and once again, we are back with our predictions. We always look at football games that is going on across the globe using the stats, and the results, the previous results for these teams. Using them, we'll always make our verdict on these, matches that's going on across the globe. All right, we have these matches lined up already, and in a short while, we'll be looking at it, and also we'll take a look at how we fared yesterday. Although yesterday we had quite a very disappointing results yesterday, but today hopefully we are going to do very well. And we're going to be more careful and see how this will go today. All right, in a short while we'll be having these matches. We'll be looking into the matches one after the other. But I want to ask those of us who are coming across a video for the first time but yet to subscribe to take our time to hit the subscription button so that you don't miss out on our games that will always come up on this right channel on a daily basis. All right. That being said, without further ado, head to the business of today, and we had the first match of today. It is in English Premier League, where we have Manchester City who will be at home against the Aston Villa. Okay, and when you take a look at the recent games for these two sides, for Manchester City, they have been able to achieve 4 victories and 2 draws in the last 6 matches that they have so far. And Aston Villa, their way side, have won 5 games, losing 1 in the last 6 recent encounters. When you take a look at how these two teams performed in the last on from home and away basis, you can see that playing from home, you can see that Manchester City have done very well, winning 7 games and 1 draw in the last 10 home matches. They've also had 2 losses out of those 10 home games. And away side, on the other hand, Aston Villa have actually won 5 games and 2 draws and a draw rather in the last 10 away games, but they've also lost 4 matches out of those. Okay, we saw Aston Villa doing very well at the same time, scoring lots of goals. And you can see that for Manchester City have been doing so very well, averaging a minimum of 4 goals per home match in the last 10 home matches that they have so far. And Aston Villa also from away have been averaging a minimum of 2 goals per away game. So putting all that together, also noting the fact that the last 2 meetings for both sides saw Aston Villa beating Manchester City by 2-1. That was in December of last year. But prior to that, we saw Man City beating Aston Villa by 4-1. So it tells you that these meetings between these two sides in recent time produce a lot of goals, and we'll be expecting a minimum of 3 goals occurring here. So it is an over 2.5. That's our value for that very counter. All right, and the next is in Spanish La Liga. We'll have FC Barcelona who will be facing Mallorca. Okay, when you take a look at the stats for each of these two teams, you can see that Barcelona have won 4 games and a draw in the last 6 matches. They've also lost 1. And Mallorca, on the other hand, have had 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses in the last 6 matches. All right, and looking at how this team is fared from home and away basis, you can see that FC Barcelona have won 8 games and 2 draws in the last 10 home matches. And the away side, Mallorca have managed 2 wins and 2 draws, but have lost 6 matches in the last 10 away games. Okay, and the last head-to-head meetings for both sides saw Barcelona, beating this very side in December of last year by 5 goals to 1 on that occasion from away. And we expect to see Barcelona, who will be hoping to do very well to clinch the Liga this year. So we expect to see a home win for Barcelona in this very one. Home win out shortly. That's what value for that very game. Okay, and that takes us to the next step for today. It is in Danish Super League, where we have Nordsjælland will be up against Midtjylland. For Nordsjælland, they've won 2 matches and a draw in the last 6 games, but have lost 3 matches out of those recent 6 matches that they had. And the way side, Midtjylland have won 3 games and a draw, losing 2 matches. Okay, and taking a look at how the two performed from home and away basis, you can see for Nordsjælland, they've won actually 9 matches in the last 10 home matches, and they've lost just 1, which will happen against Copenhagen. Okay, and they've been doing so very well from home, scoring lots of goals. They've scored 5 goals on 5 occasions out of the last 10 home matches. They've been scoring a lot of goals, Nordsjælland, especially when they're playing from home. And the away side, the Midtjylland have just 3 victories and a draw, and they've also lost 6 matches in the last 10 away games. They also have been averaging minimum of 2 goals in the last 10 away games that they have. All right, when you put all that together with the fact that the head-to-head meetings also produce lots of goals, the last 4 head-to-head meetings for both sides produce over 3.5, over 2.5 at the minimum. So we do expect to see a lot of goals occurring here as well, and it is the minimum of 3 goals and over 2.5. That's what we expect for this very game. Okay, over 2.5. That's what value for that very encounter. And the next is in Austria Bundesliga, where we have Austria Klagenfurt coming up against LASK for Klagenfurt, the home side. It is 2 victories and 2 draws, as well as 2 losses in the last 6% games. And the away side, LASK have won 4 games and 2 draws in the last 6 games. All right, when you look at how they fared from home and away perspective, you can see for home side, Klagenfurt, it is 5 victories and 3 draws, as well as 2 losses out of the last 10 home matches that they have so far. But the away side, LASK they've done so very well, winning 5 games and a draw, losing 4 matches in the last 10 away games. Okay, and on head-to-head basis, you can see that the last 4 head-to-head meetings have seen LASK always, winning against the Klagenfurt. The last meeting was actually in March. It was LASK who won from away on that occasion by 2-1 against this very side. So, and in the last 10 head-to-head meetings, there have not been a time Klagenfurt, achieved victory against LASK. The best result they could muster here is actually 2 draws, and other ones have seen LASK always winning 8 times out of 10 against this very side. So we'll be expecting the away side LASK to continue the dominance to take the day against the home side. So it is a way to win out shortly. That's a value for that very game. And that takes us to the last for today. The next game is in Portuguese Cup, where we have Rio Ave who will be facing Sporting Lisbon. Okay, for Rio Ave, they've won once and a draw in the last 6 games, but they've also lost 4 matches out of the last 6 encounters. And away side Sporting Lisbon have won 5 games out of 6, drawing 1. And looking at how these 2 teams have performed from one away basis, you see Rio Ave have won 3 games, and they've also had 4 draws in the last 10 home matches, but have lost 3 matches out of the last 10 home games. One of those losses was actually against the Sporting, where they lost by 3-0 from away from home on that occasion. And Sporting, on the other hand, playing from away, have won 5 games and 4 draws, losing just 1 in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. And when you look at how they fared on head-to-head basis, you can see that Sporting have actually quite dominated the last 3 meetings, winning on each occasion. And the last time they met was actually earlier this very month, where Sporting actually won from home by 2-0 against Rio Ave. So in this very one, we are giving it to Sporting, their away side, to take the day. It is their away side to win out shortly. That's what we expect for that very encounter. Okay, and that brings our predictions for you today on Betcraft to conclusion. I wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. And also remember to play responsibly, as football matches sometimes present some level of surprises. Okay, that being said, tomorrow is another day. We'll be back with our predictions on this very channel. Do not miss out. But until that time, keep winning.